Hello everyone, in this video I will continue explaining each class in every character part 2, starting from Luciel to Lithia. In my previous video, I've explained the role from Elsword to add, so if you haven't watched the first part of this video, don't forget to check it out first, so you won't miss the explanation of each character in Elsword, because it's necessary to know each role of each character to build a good lineup. Before we continue this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to help me grow this channel. Without further ado, let's get started. First path on Luciel, we have Catastrophe, which is essentially a physical class with a useful buffs and debuffs for the party and will perform well against small bosses. However, for larger bosses, their damage might slightly decrease. This class is categorized as DPS and sub-DPS. Innocent. This class is similar to Catastrophe but the opposite. This class is good for larger bosses and also long normal ranges due to its wide skill range. They also have some buffs and debuffs, but they are better suited as a DPS and sub-DPS. Diangelion. This class is one of the favorite classes for physical parties because of its excellent debuffs. However, it is also good at dealing damage. This class is considered good because of its flexibility. It can be a DPS, sub-DPS or debuffer. Demercio. Everyone's favorite support class, has many buffs and debuffs. Additionally, it can heal and freeze. Although primarily a support class, it can also deal damage to large bosses. However, it is best suited as a support and healer. Next, we have Rose, starting with Tempest Buster. This is a very good class similar to Animus and Cordyceps in terms of clearing, but Tempest Buster has an extremely long attack range, allowing its user to clear normal dungeons very quickly. It also has some buffs, but it is categorized as DPS and sub-DPS. Black Massacre. The opposite of Tempest Buster, is more suitable for bossing. On the other hand, she also has some useful buffs and debuffs for the party, making it mostly used for bossing, therefore it is suitable as a DPS and sub-DPS. Minerva. After the previous two physical resource class, Minerva is a magical class with good damage, suitable for both bossing and clearing. She only has a few buffs, so she is categorized as a DPS and sub-DPS. Prime Operator, another magical class that has good buffs but also decent damage. She is also good for PvP, however this class is more commonly chosen as a sub-DPS and support. Ain, Richter, is one of the favorite physical class among any user due to its wide and strong skill range, suitable for both bossing and clearing with certain skills. This class is also good for bossing, especially against large bosses. It is clearly categorized as DPS. Bluin, one of Ain's support class, is very useful in both magical and physical parties as it can be hybrid. However, this class prefers more towards the magical parties. This class has healing and freezing skills, making him perfect as a support and healer. Cursor is a magical class with good damage, have a wide and long skill range, good for clearing normal dungeon or raid dungeon. Even though he has some buffs and debuffs, this class is categorized as a DPS. Afro, this class has a wide skill range, suitable for both normal dungeon and bossing in raid dungeons. He also has some buffs and debuffs, however he more likely categorized as a DPS, sub-DPS and debuffer. Moving on to Laby, Eternity Winner. This class has a few debuffs, furthermore she is a good damage dealer, especially during raid dungeons, particularly against bosses located at the edge of right or left side of the map. This class is also good for clearing normal dungeons, which is why she is categorized as a DPS. Radiant Soul is one of the support with many buffs and can also provide healing and freezing. One of its advantages is the ability to reset skills for both herself and other party members. This class is categorized as a buffer and healer. Luciel Labyrinth has a few buffs and debuffs. Similar to Code Essentia, this character can summon an army, but in the form of shadow animals. This character is enjoyable to play for both bossing and clearing, which make this class viable as a support, sub-DPS, and DPS. Twins Picaro is one of the most popular jobs chosen by Laby players due to its incredible skill range, especially when using long stacking followed by Core Demondo. However, this class doesn't have specific buff or debuff, and even doesn't provide attack support while dealing with another DPS. Therefore, this class is categorized as the only selfish DPS. Last man character is Noah. First is Liberator. He has a fast cast and wide range skill. Its crystalline animation makes this class very satisfying to play. This class provides a few debuffs, hence he is categorized as a DPS. Celestia is a popular class as a support in magical parties due to its excellent buffs and debuffs. It can also deal damage, especially when facing large bosses, such as the boss in the Abyss raid Birth of Origin. Thus, this class can be categorized as a support, DPS, or sub-DPS. Nyx Pieta, like Celestia, but this class is positioned in a physical parties. He has many buffs, provide heal and freeze, but with strong gear, it's possible for him to deal damage. This class is categorized as support, healer, and sub-DPS. Morpheus is a class with wide range skill, good for both clearing and bossing. It has a few buffs, which means this class is still a little bit useful while dealing damage alongside another DPS. Most likely, this class is categorized as DPS. The last character is Lithia, start from Gamblus. This character is similar to Morpheus, but it falls under the physical class. It has a few buffs but features wide and large skill range, making it suitable for both clearing and bossing. This class categorized as DPS. Average is one of favorable Lithia's class. One of its advantages is that it has a foe, where one person who receives the foe from Average gets more buffs than the other party members. It has many buffs and debuffs, so this class is categorized as a support and healer. Achilles is one of the best magical support classes within the Lithia category because it has many buffs and debuffs useful for the party. Her wide range skill and fast casting skill make her enjoyable to play. Additionally, this class can also deal damage, however she is categorized as a support and sub DPS. Last one, Mischief, is a class with a few debuffs, but this class is good for bossing and clearing due to its wide range skill. This class maximizes its damage when paired with Celestia, who can provide unlimited special resources for a certain period. Mischief is categorized as DPS. Here is the recap of all the characters from part 1 to part 2, from Elsword to Lithia. You may refer to the link provided in the description for updates regarding buffs and debuffs, as the specifics of each may change because of the balance pages. We extend our gratitude to the Elsword players who have dedicated their efforts to compiling and updating this information. It is important to remember that every character has their own role, and we also need to understand the function of each character, especially to create a good lineup, so you don't suffer when completing dungeons. Thank you to everyone who watched the video from the beginning. I hope this video can be useful for both new Elsword players and those who have been playing for a long time. If you have any content requests, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button to help me grow this channel. That's all from me. I'm Aschavea signing off. Goodbye.